This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
It's Wednesday, August 16, and I hope you're having a great day. We'll be bringing you the latest news updates in the next 20 minutes. We'll get started with these headlines. Duterte signs bill on free tuition in SUCs. House panel approves Duterte tax reform package. Mayor Barahino, wife bird, amid supporters' call for justice. Gilas, Pilipinas cruises a third straight win after beating Qatar in FIBA Asia Cup. Duterte signs bill on free tuition in SUCs. President Duterte signed the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, which grants free tuition to students of all state universities and colleges in the country on Thursday, which Malacanang announced Friday morning. To give us more info, here's Naomi.
Senior Deputy Executive Secretary Minardo Guevara said during the Mindanao Hour press briefing Friday morning that Duterte has signed the bill Thursday night and explained why it took the president a long time to sign the bill, despite free education being a huge part of his platform.
The enrolled bill came to the office of the president nearly 30 days ago, and during that period, there had been a lot of discussions and study about the bill because of its very heavy budgetary implication.
Senior Deputy Executive Secretary Minardo Guevara said during the Mindanao Hour press briefing Friday morning that Duterte has signed the bill Thursday night and explained why it took the president a long time to sign the bill, despite free education being a huge part of his platform. Guevara said that free tertiary education in SUC is a very strong pillar or cornerstone of Duterte's social development policy, and that the president was still trying to figure out the best possible solution regarding the bill.
He weighed everything and came to the conclusion that the long-term benefits that will be derived from a well-developed tertiary education on the part of the citizenry will definitely outweigh any possible short-term budgetary challenges.
The palace official also said that whether or not economic managers are for the passing of the bill, the more important thing now is to find the budgetary allocation for the program.
I guess everyone, including the economic managers, will have to focus their attention on this particular aspect, funding for this program, because this program will have to be implemented quite soon.
Budget Secretary Benjamin Jokno earlier suggested to Duterte to veto the bill as the government cannot afford to shoulder its costs, estimated to be around 100 billion peso. Duterte earlier said that he will decide on the fate of the bill before the deadline. It was submitted to his office on July 5, 2017 and would have lapsed into a law Friday, based on the 1987 Constitution. Since Duterte has already submitted the proposed 2018 national budget to the Congress, Guevara said that certain adjustments can still be made so allocation for this law can be made.
That is really the principal responsibility of the Congress when they deliberate on the budget.
Okay. So,
Right now, I have nothing very specific to say about which projects or which programs or which agency proposed budget might be affected. If the Congress is really serious about finding the appropriate funding for this free tuition program, they will have to find the necessary sources for this particular program.
Guevara also addressed the estimate of the Department of Budget and Management that 100 billion peso would be needed to implement the SUC law.
The Commission on Higher Education thinks otherwise. What the 100 billion peso estimate of the DBM seems to be on the very high side, because that is on the basis of the assumption that all aspects of the free tuition bill will be implemented all at the same time.
The CHED estimated that 34.1 billion peso would be needed for the implementation of the law. According to Guevara, the government would only have to spend on the mandatory provisions of the bill, which includes tuition and miscellaneous fees, which would need around 16 billion peso. The related educational expenses like books and boardings would be shouldered for deserving 20% by the CHED's Unified Student Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education program.
So, as far as I know, those are the only mandatory provisions of the bill for now. The free tuition and other fees. Other fees would refer to something like library fees, ID fees, laboratory fees, and stuff like that. Now, as to the subsidy, that is something to be processed, right? For educational expenses, related educational expenses. That has to be processed by the UNIFAS board, which is supposed to have a system of priority. In other words, yung mga talagang nangangailangan, the bottom 20% will be prioritized in terms of subsidy for education-related expenses.
The UNIFAS rationalizes the allocation, utilization, and client targeting of government resources and improves access to quality higher and technical education for those who need it. The Philippine government and several organizations in the country allocated funds for the Commission on Higher Education, which will free the students in selected state universities and colleges from paying the tuition fee. Zero tuition fee will cover the following list of state universities and colleges for the school year 2018. Amount of 8.3 billion peso was granted to CHED to make the tuition fees free for college students in selected schools in the Philippines. The amount granted to CHED came from the 3.35 trillion peso Philippine budget ratified by the Congress. The 5.8 billion will continue to support the implementation of financial assistance program for students such as Scholar ng Bayan, Pamana, Study Grant Program, Tulong Dunong Program, and Scholarship for the children of small farmers and sugarcane workers. 763 million peso was allocated for the Philippine-California Advanced Research Institute project, and 4.6 billion peso was allocated for the continued support to the K-12 program. Back to you, KRIZEL.
Thank you, Naomi. House panel approves the Duterte tax reform package. The House Committee on Ways and Means has approved the substitute bill on the comprehensive tax reform package proposed by President Duterte's administration. To give us more of these, here's Jolie.
Yes, KRIZEL. The substitute bill was approved 17-4-3 with voting of the Mother Committee done on Wednesday, hours after the scheduled technical working group meeting on the proposed measure. ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino, a member of the committee, confirmed this. Tino, who voted no because of the excise tax on fuel and expanded value-added tax coverage, said the key features of the package as proposed by Malacanang remain intact. The committee is also eyeing to include the tax on sugar, sweetened beverages, and carbonated goods. The bill seeks to lower personal income tax rates while increasing excise tax rates on petroleum products and automobiles and expanding the value-added tax base as compensating measures. Upon the approval of the bill, a group of store and carinderia owners appealed to President Duterte and lawmakers to reconsider passing the proposed tax law on sugar sweetened beverages because it will lead to increase in price of some sweetened products, thereby gravely affecting the sector. Citing the latest study by the Philippine Chamber of Food Manufacturers Incorporation, the implementation of 10 pesos tax per liter volume capacity on sugar sweetened beverages will be the highest in the world and will mostly hit the poor. The Philippine Association of Stores and Carinderia Owners, President Victoria Aguinaldo said that a typical sari-sari store owners earns an average of 1,000 pesos per day. 30 to 40% of the total, around 300 to 400 pesos, comes from the sale of coffee, juice, and carbonated drinks. To almost half of our net income is from the sale of sweetened beverages. Aguinaldo added that if the tax reform for acceleration and inclusion Trainer House Bill 5636 is approved, a 3-in-1 coffee sachet currently priced at 5 pesos will be 8 pesos. A 1-liter bottle of juice concentrately currently priced at 9 pesos will have a retail price of 30 pesos. A 1-liter bottle of tea currently priced of 20 pesos will be 30 pesos. Carbonated drinks currently being sold for 15 pesos per liter will cost 25 pesos. And a 1-liter tetra of ready-to-drink juice currently priced at 20 pesos will be 30 pesos. This is JOLIE Lentijas. Back to you, KRIZEL.
Thank you, Jolie. Mayor Hinog Whiteberg amid supporters call for justice. Ozama City Mayor Reynaldo Hinog and his family were buried on Wednesday in their family mausoleum at the Mount Malindaw Memorial Park, amid renewed calls for justice from their families and supporters. To give us more info, we have Kyle on the other line. Kyle?
Yes, KRIZEL, Mayor Hinog and his family, who were killed last July 30 during a series of pre-dawn anti-drug raid in the south, were now buried here in Mount Malindaw Memorial Park. Vice Mayor Nova Hinog, who remains detained in Camp Crame with her brother for illegal possession of firearms and illegal drugs, had her eulogy read out during the funeral mass. Shelly Hinog said while reading Nova's letter that every time she hears Ozami's Police Chief Jovian Espinido's allegations, she remembers the politicos who were very much jealous of their father, exact and same fabricated stories. The Ozami's vice mayor pinned the blame on the death of her parents, along with 14 others, on political rivals and Espinido, who led the bloody raid. Government workers and residents also joined the funeral march as school children waved flags on the side streets. The family has also yet to decide whether they will be pursuing a complaint for what they say was the excessive use of force during the police raid. Officers served warrants for the arrest of Hinog, his daughter, and 4 other officials of Ozami City when they allegedly opened the fire on July 30. The officers were met with volleys of fire from the mayor's security, prompting the Philippine National Police personnel to retaliate, according to Chief Superintendent Timoteo Pacleb's statement. Officers recovered grenades and ammunition as well as illegal drugs in the raid, according to Police Provincial Chief Jason De Guzman. But Hinog, who also faced corruption charges, had denied any links to illegal drugs. Ozami City Regional Trial Court denied the request of Hinog's siblings Nova Princess and Reynaldo Jr. to attend the wake of their parents and other family members who were killed in a raid conducted by the police last month. In a 3-page order, Ozami's RTC Executive Judge Edmundo P. Pintac said that While they commemorate with the siblings and offered their condolences, they also have to consider the safety and security not only of Nova Princess and Reynaldo Jr., but also the police escorts as well. This is your news correspondent, Angelica Maniago. Back to you, KRIZEL.
Thank you, Kyle. Gilas Pilipinas cruises the third straight win after beating Qatar in FIBA Asia Cup. Gilas Pilipinas proved to be too strong as they dominated from start to finish to hand Qatar its third consecutive defeat with scores of 80-74 in the 2017 FIBA Asia Cup on Sunday, August 30th in Beirut, Lebanon. For further details, here's Kay. Team Pilipinas, who played in a stadium filled with supporters, remained unscathed with a 3-0 win-loss record to move ahead to the quarterfinals of the journey. Philippines ran over Qatar early in the first quarter to take a 25-16 lead behind Matthew Wright's solo 8-0 run, including back-to-back triples and never looked back. Calvin Abueva slipped and hurt his left ankle, but Carl Brian Cruz proved to be reliable for Gilas' backcourt offense as he shot 2 3-pointers and locked in 4 straight points to end the second period 41-27. Gilas Pilipinas started with 10 turnovers compared to Qatar's 6 but intensified their defense to force them into committing 6 more errors, ending with a total of 12 versus Philippines' 11 turnovers. Qatar stepped up its game in the second half and shrunk the Philippines' lead to 9 points, but Wright made sure to take away Qatar's hope of bagging a win, closing the third with a trade to push a 59-47 lead. While Gilas Pilipinas' second win was against Iraq last August 10. Christian Stan Hardinger sparked a decisive third quarter blast as Gilas Pilipinas blew out Iraq 84-64. To stay unbeaten in the 2016 FIBA Asia Cup Friday at NODADO Sports Complex in Beirut, Lebanon. The Filipino-German big man dropped 12 out of his 16 points in the third frame, on top of his 7 rebounds to help the Philippines break away from a tight 32-31 lead at halftime to a commanding 60-39 spread late in the period. Terrence Romeo, who starred in Gilas' 96-87 win over China, also fired 17 markers, 11 coming in the third frame, where Gilas outscored the Iraqis 28-9. He also had 4 assists and 2 boards. Carl Brian Cruz also went on a perfect 3 of 3 clip from beyond the arc to move up with 11 points and 2 rebounds. Roger Poloy added 9 markers and 2 boards, and Gabe Norwood had 8 points and 7 rebounds in the decisive victory. At 2.0, Gilas has now earned the top seed in Group B and can formalize its automatic quarterfinals berth with a win against Qatar on Sunday. The Philippines balked a poor start, where Iraq imposed its size advantage to gain control of the first half, before solving the puzzle after the break and pulling away to a lead as high as 23-64-41, courtesy of Raymond Almazan dunk with 8 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. For the second straight game, Gilas also continued to catch fire from beyond the arc, shooting 12 of 29 to 8 Iraqis' presence down low. Naturalized import Kevin Galloway was stifled in the second half as he topped Iraq with 23 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And who'd forget their first league triumph defeating China last August 8? Gilas pulled off a stunning upset over China, 96-87, to open its campaign in 2017 FIBA Asia Cup in Beirut, Lebanon. Terrence Romeo carried the Filipinos in a mesmerizing showing against their Asian rivals, where he finished with 26 points, including 8 of the Philippines' last 12 points. In the rematch of the 2015 finalists, Gilas Pilipinas had the Chinese scoreless in the last 4 minutes of the game, just shortly after the defending champions took their first lead. Jason Castro, regarded as the best point guard in Asia, gave the lead back to the Philippines before China scored 4 straight, 87-84. Romeo, who went 5 of 7 from 3, put Gilas Pilipinas ahead for good with 6 straight points, including a huge 3 with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left for the 92-87 edge. The Filipinos started out strong, leading by as much as 17 points at the half before the Chinese came out firing with a 31-point third quarter attack. But armed with grit and composure amid Chinese fierce comeback, Gilas Pilipinas never let the smoke pull away and tried to douse every Chinese run early in the fourth. An 8-0 blast from China made it 83-82, but their Alan Go fouled out with 4 minutes and 42 seconds left, leaving the Chinese without their best option down the stretch. Go wound up with 18 points. Christian Stan Hardinger added 15 points on an efficient 75% shooting clip, while Jason Castro and Matthew Wright added 13 and 12 points, respectively. The FIBA Asia Cup quarterfinals is scheduled tonight, and Gilas will be competing against Korea. This is Kay Bunag reporting for the Sports News. Thank you, Kay. You've just watched the most 20-minute news update brought to you by PBC, Philippine Broadcasting Channel. This has been your news anchor, KRIZEL OBALLO, together with my news correspondent saying the truth will set us free 24 hours a day,